Dirt Smart, tips and techniques for irrigation technicians, helping you save time and money. Pump Station PM station checks. In this video, Ron DeLong of Eastern Irrigation and Pump Company gives us his insights of what he checks for during a contracted preventative maintenance visit. Information contained in this video shall in no way be construed that you or anyone on your staff is encouraged, authorized, or approved to carry out any action shown. The information discussed in this video is meant to be performed by qualified, professionally trained, experienced, and in some cases licensed individuals. High voltage will kill you. You do not get a second chance. Topics discussed in this video: introduction, safety, heat exchanger, and winterization and startup.
All right, well, hey, first of all, never open the panel. You don't want to open this thing up. There's high voltage. It's just a good idea to stay out of it. If there's any questions, give us a call. We usually are within a day or the same day. We can come out and take care of things for you if you have any questions. One of the things that happens, and especially if you have a voltage problem in the area, lightning, transformer, sometimes there's an accident, somebody hits a pole and a transformer blows up, sends a surge through that you can see where it's black behind this, what's called a soft starter. Now, they took a surge, there's a surge protective module on top, and that's kind of what it's made for. This one's good, but the previous one took a hit and blew up, and you can see the remnants of the black stain on the wall behind it. But that's kind of the situation when you're dealing with high voltage. Anything like that can happen, and it's dangerous behind these doors. Definitely give us a call if something isn't working and you know that it's something in the panel. Give us a ring. The pump panel itself can build up some heat, especially in the summertime. So they install these heat exchangers. Some older stations have air conditioners. A lot of times we use these heat exchangers, and all that it's involved in is running a tube from. There's a couple different styles. This is what's called a Florida style. A tube runs from each pump head, which would be right here. It goes in the black tube. The tube runs up into the heat exchanger, comes out, and goes over to the relief valve and goes out the relief pipe. That only is running when the pump is running. There's another style which will have a solenoid mounted underneath the heat exchanger, which will need an electrical signal to turn on and off, and usually that's when the VFD pump comes on. So I guess the whole idea is there's a coil inside of here. The water goes through the coil, and on top of the heat exchanger is a fan, and that fan blows the cold air through a hole in the side of the panel and cools off the panel. A lot of times we'll get calls about stations shutting down. That'll be one of the most frequent things. It's either something's clogged in one of the tubes. A lot of times where it goes into the discharge pipe, a lot of people will regulate the amount of water through that. There's a ball valve, or a gate valve actually, and they'll regulate the amount of water going through there. And it's a smaller opening, and sometimes dirt will get in there and clog it up, and then all of a sudden you have no circulation at all. The fan will be running, no water circulation, the panel will heat up. There's a safety on the drive where if it gets too hot, it will shut everything down. So that's one of the things we check out every time we do our PMs. Make sure you got good circulation through your heat exchanger. and make sure that's working okay and everything is cool inside the panel. The winterization, there's certain parts where we take things out and put them inside somewhere warm over winter. A lot of times, a pump station isn't heated. I mean, there's most times now it is, but there's older stations that aren't heated. So we'll take certain things, transducers, we'll disconnect and winterize, pilot valves, like the heat exchanger. You definitely want to winterize that. So you need to take things apart. And they'll have us, if they're not confident in putting everything back together again, especially an older fixed-speed station, there's so many parts, so many tubes. They'll say, hey, you guys come out, put it all back together again. We don't want to deal with it. So we'll do that, we'll put it together, and we'll even start filling the irrigation. We won't fill up the whole irrigation system, but we'll start.
DirtSmart, tips and techniques for irrigation technicians, helping you save time and money.